Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
This is Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it live.
Hi, I'm Frida Cards, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What up? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I am the Director. We will be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday. But look at that. B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on YouTube.com/IE Network TV and Twitter. The newly acquired Twitter. And also, of course, the social network itself, Facebook, aka Meta. So another Monday. Thanks for coming back. Got some a very interesting, what I think was kind of funny topic that was trending on Twitter. But I think it's actually it's blown up to this like interesting discussion on the internet, which is like weird, but we'll talk about that later. It's really about, I don't know how this even trended. It's like someone posted on Twitter something about who is the top movie villain. Like, name your top movie villain. Now it's funny because ironically I did a list like that a while ago, a few shows ago. I did my top 5 or top 10 movie villains of all time. I want to say I had Joker at the top of the list. I believe Joker was my number 1. I know Darth Vader was in there somewhere. Palpatine. Like, it was a couple of people I had in there. So someone said, name your top villains of movies. And someone put Jenny from Forest Gump. And I thought that was so funny and interesting. And what's more interesting is the conversations and the comments that people are getting. Like, a lot of people are agreeing with it. And there's a lot of people that are, of course, defending Jenny, saying she was damaged and had a bad childhood and, abused, all of that stuff, right? But I tell you, man, and I'm not gonna always put it on Gen Z, but the Gen Zers, man, they are savage, boy. They don't want to hear none of that stuff. They're like, I don't care. It's just funny. We'll get more into it, but I thought it was hilarious how much people were like talking about this topic. And I said, I got to bring this to the show because it makes for an interesting conversation with, with people just in movie cinema, right? It's like, was Jenny, that's my question. Was Jenny the villain in Forrest Gump? And there really wasn't no villain, right? Like, there was really no villain in Forrest Gump, right? If there was one, though, could it be Jenny? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Also in trending topics, of course, Ezra Miller back in trouble. I mean, it's time to replace him, don't you think? It's time to. I'm sure Warner Brothers is going to replace him. anyway as the Flash. Ezra Miller is the one who is currently the Flash. He'll be in the Flash movie. He's already in it. He was in Justice League. So there's a petition out there calling for Grant Gustin, who is the Flash on the television series, to replace him in the movies. Nice thought, but it's not gonna happen. Not with Warner Brothers. They just don't do things like that. It would be cool because people already accept him as Barry Allen, the Flash, right? But we'll see how that turns out. For that, okay, so we'll go into our quick weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com, powered by IMDb Pro. And last weekend, for the weekend of April 22nd to the 24th, number one was The Bad Guys. Made $24 million over that weekend. Opening, 24 million. They're at 87 million worldwide and 24 million domestically. They just opened. So that was number one last weekend, or this weekend it just passed. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 made another 15.7 mil. It's now at 146 million domestic and 288 worldwide. So it's doing pretty good. Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of you helped me last week with that Ralph. I don't remember the name of it, Dumbledore or something like that. That made it's at 67 million right now domestic, so it's not really making the money that they would hope it would. The Northman at 12.3 million. Let's see. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent made 7.1 million. So that was the top five for the weekend of April 22nd through the 24th. So weekend box office was a little, so it's all good. We thank y'all for coming through. Shout out to the chat room. Of course, people came through. They already said it. That's so Pamela Ford said Jenny was toxic. Oh man. Yo, that's hilarious, man. What's up though? Big up, Pamela Moore. Thanks for showing up. Yeah. Thank you. Yo, what up? Shout out Joseph Tanner, of course, holding it down. Everybody. Yeah, we're gonna get into this topic. We thank you for being there because we're here. This is Real Talk. I am the director, and I brought my Jedi Council with me. If you don't believe me, here they are. Ralph, Kev, y'all's in the building. Y'all's in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
Coming back.
When it comes to that Forest Gump topic, I am muting myself. That is some bullshit, ridiculous garbage I've ever heard in my life.
Bruh, let me tell you something. It's hilarious to me though, but the funny thing is, what's funny to me is I had to bring this to the table right? I had to bring it up because it's like so many. What's funny is the responses that people and I started thinking about it. I started going back in my head about Forrest Gump. I didn't rewatch it. I was scanning through some scenes and I was like, yeah. So, but what's funny to me is they have it's split down the middle almost of people who say yes, Jenny is a villain, and then you have some
goddamn millennials.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Goddamn millennials.
They're like, yo, Jenny. They say, like I said, it's split down the middle. Let's see here. What she say? I ain't lying. You say, I ain't lying. To follow it, I follow him in been looking to check y'all out. I love the film and television. Thank you very much, Pamela. We appreciate that.
Hey, Pamela.
And please, we thank you. Welcome, and we appreciate your opinions. But yeah, so on it became a trending topic on Twitter, the newly acquired Twitter. It's been, but I think it was trending before Elon Musk acquired it. But anyway, it was a trending topic. Someone says, "Put your list of movie villains," and someone said, "Jenny from Forest Gump," and I thought that was just hilarious.
That's just dumb.
Has no life. They have no life. They have no
dumb.
Yeah, but hey, well, let's talk about it.
I'm gonna say this. I'll say this. Jenny is a tease. She's a tease. I'll give you that. She is a tease.
She ain't no tease. She gave it up to Forrest. She ain't tease.
She was a tease.
She wasn't
a tease. She
wasn't no tease. She was just.
If you're gonna ask what Jenny was, she's clearly not a villain. But if you would say to say, well, she was the tease.
She wasn't a tease. You know what?
Yes, Pamela. Jenny was toxic. Jenny is toxic.
Jenny was definitely toxic. She was definitely toxic. I think that is safe to say Jenny was toxic. That's for sure. Now, yes, we go back to when she was, obviously she was damaged, right? Someone put a comment, and I don't know, I'm not gonna mention the person's name. But I thought it was deep the way the comment was deep. So everybody's putting their reasons. Like I remember I read a comment where someone was like, well, Forrest was constantly there for her and she was never there for him. When he came home from the service, she wasn't there. When his mother died, she wasn't there. Every time he needed her, she wasn't there. And the only time she showed up was when he was doing, well, not just before that, or she saw him in the public, like when he was making that big public speech that time. Then she comes running across the water over in DC or whatever, the pond or whatever that is. She sees him then. She saw him on TV running like everybody else did. And then, she finally, reaches out to him after, she contracts, the virus or whatever that they never actually said what it was. But I remember I read something, an article about the writer saying that it was supposedly, I guess it was supposed to be like HIV AIDS that she like contracted, but they didn't want to be, they didn't want to say what it was. Just
they didn't want to be sensitive. That's what it was. They were trying not to be sensitive. I mean, I'm sorry, they were just trying to be sensitive, which is what all you damn millennials are trying to do. And then they listen. Whoever was this person that came up with this thing and said that Jenny was the villain, you need to go date somebody, have a beer, smoke a blunt, since a lot of places is legal nowadays. Man. Jenny, if anything,
how about
Jenny is the catalyst. What does she tell?
Why is she the?
Because everything that she told Forrest did. Because she said when he went to see her when she was going to be done, what she say? If you get in trouble, just run.
Ralph, say that again. Start from the top and say it again. Because the people in the fucking bleacher did not hear you.
Take it from the top. When Forrest had those braces on his legs, and he used to stay there, Jenny just said, "Run, Forrest." And is that not how he became so fast? When he went to war, she said, "If you're in trouble, just run." Right? I mean, and now, even what you said, well, she saw him when he was making that big speech. That was by happiness that she happened to be there. Now, when she was tired of all the people running through her, and she came to his house, she. But at that point in time, Jenny was always the tease. She threw it out there, like, maybe I like you, maybe I don't, but I'm not. I got to go do my thing. I'm in college. She was teased until he said, "I know what love is. I may be dumb, but I know what love is." And then she was like, "You know what? He's right." Then she gives it to him. What do she runs away? She runs away. Then she teases him with like, "I'm sick, so I need you to come. I'm sick, so I want to stay." No, first it's like, I wrote you the letter because I want to tell you that I have a child and you're the father. So you were a bad mother too. I mean, think about it. Because if a guy did that, that would have been the sequel. Forest, a bad dad, right? And then she says, "Forest, I'm sick. And they don't know what they're doing. So will you marry me?" Yes, Janae.
Well, he asked her to marry him first.
Nay.
Remember? That's when he said, "I know what love is." Right?
I know what love is. Right. And not for nothing, while saying tease, if she was sick, then when he got married, she didn't give him no more. He only had sex with her that one time, maybe.
Yeah.
She was a tease. Yeah. Toxic, yes.
She wasn't no tease. She gave it to him. That ain't teasing.
A tease.
A tease is someone who never give it up.
But think about. No, it's not. No, it's not. A tease. No, it's not. A tease could always be someone that does something at one time. And you're like, "Oh my God, that was so great," and they never do it again. Or, and I know there's some woman out there watching will say, "Ralph, come on." But think about it, ladies. How many times y'all only did that special thing for your man only on his birthday? The rest of the year, he gets nothing. He don't get it.
Going to read some of these. I'm gonna read some of these.
They like, I gotta strap it up. Like, I gotta do it today. It's his birthday, so he don't be saying shit.
I'm gonna read
but the rest
some
of the year. But next year. So
after the person put that, someone says, "Here's a tweet." They say, "I think she's ultimately just a bad person. She does have an agenda to F over Forrest, but she continues to do it because she's selfish and manipulative deep down. She had a brutal childhood, but the way she treats Forrest will always break my heart. She didn't deserve him."
You right, you did. She didn't deserve him. Think about it. Wait, hold on. Think about this.
Well, she knew. Now I'll say this: she knew she didn't deserve him. That's why she said to him, "You don't want to marry me, Forrest." That's why she said it. She knew she didn't deserve him. By her saying the way she said
it, think about all the
"You don't want to marry me," Forrest. That was more like a warning. That was like a warning to him. I think the way.
But think about all the other stuff that he did. I mean, come on. He named the entire fishing boat fleet was named Jenny. Jenny 1, Jenny 2, Jenny 3. He tore down the house that she grew up with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what more the brother got to do? What more the brother got to do? And he stuck up for you. One, when he thought the dude in the car was trying to rape you, he stuck up for you. When you were playing your guitar naked and the guys are hecking you, he stuck up for you. And then you went to rape him.
Exactly.
Come on, Jenny. That's right. Show Khan.
You
didn't expect.
So anyway, here's my choice for best bad guy ever. They just put Khan as the best bad guy ever, but that's funny. And then so I'm trying to see what else I would say. It was hilarious though.
Let's see, real Vader is the best bad guy of all time.
Nah, I go my tops mine is Joker. Joker tops mine. Best bad Vader. Guy is Joker. Yeah, he does.
He don't top Vader.
He does. Because Vader was he was redeemed. There's a redemption factor in Vader. There is no redemption with Joker. He just wants to watch the world burn. Period.
No.
That's just
wait. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Because in the Killing Joke, when Batman is saying, "I just want to help you," and he stands and he says no, but he tells that joke. He tells him the joke that makes Batman laugh. So even though for that moment Batman's reaching out to him saying, "I want to help you," and he if you look at it, he says he looks at him like, "I'm thinking about it, but until we know it, because I can't. I'm too far gone to be redeemed. However, I'm gonna make you laugh." But he doesn't do something spiteful to Batman. He just tells him a joke, and then they share a laugh together. Come on, the villain sharing a laugh with the hero.
That don't mean nothing.
But even with that one, you're still not beating Vader.
Nah, man.
Vader can
the fact that Joker is so bad that even if you take others, he's screwed over other superheroes. He got tired of messing with Batman because Batman wouldn't. His whole point is he wants to corrupt you. So because Batman wouldn't kill him, he decided, and this is in the story, the Justice League story called Injustice. He decides to mess with Superman. So he hits Superman with some of the Scarecrow's fear gas, and he laces it with kryptonite, and he tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane, who is pregnant with his baby. If that ain't the worst person, he tricks Superman.
Well, not for
Lois
nothing.
Lane. He saw Lois Lane. He thought Lois Lane was Doomsday. You know, the character Doomsday. He thought Lois Lane was Doomsday, and because Joker tricked him into thinking that she was Doomsday, he killed Lois Lane, and then Joker had a nuclear bomb attached to her heart rate. So when her heart went flatline, the bomb went off and it destroyed Metropolis. So in one fell swoop, he killed his wife, he killed his unborn child, and killed everybody in Metropolis. You can't, and that's all because of the Joker. And that's because he got. Wait. I'm just saying he got tired of because Batman wouldn't kill him, and he knew that the ultimate joke, the ultimate punchline. As a matter of fact, that's what he said. Because Superman got so angry, he came in and he punched his heart out. He punched his fist through the Joker, and Joker's last words was, "Now that's a punchline." And
wow.
He dies.
but not for nothing. Think about Vader. Vader, he chokes out the love of his life, right? Yeah. Then he doesn't know he has kids. I mean, he doesn't know he has kids. Well, he doesn't know the kids will survive. But then later on, he tries to kill his son twice. Twice he tries to kill him.
Yeah,
he was
conflicted through the whole time.
But think about it, he also blows up his daughter's adoptive family. He blows the whole planet away. He's like, boom. You know,
he didn't know that was his daughter, though.
He tries to kill his son twice. And then he turns his back on the man that turned him into who he was. And don't get me wrong, Vader did a whole lot more dirt than what you just saw on camera.
No, of course he did a lot.
He did a lot of dirt.
He did some. I said he did some bad stuff, man. He killed the younglings. Killed the younglings. That's what made him Vader. Really, that's what really made him. At that point, he was too far gone. He couldn't even come back if he tried. At that point,
no.
But let's see. I'm thinking of some.
He froze hand.
So someone else.
No, Jenny is not a villain. That's not a villain. Vader is a villain.
See, there was really no villain in Forest Gump.
Clarence Boddicker is a villain.
Right.
Yeah, Clarence Boddicker is a villain. Khan is a villain. You know. Those are villains.
Khan is a villain, yeah.
Khan is a villain.
So when they're focusing on the fact that she left without warning and then only called him back because she has AIDS. To me, the problem is Jenny isn't that she's a villain. It's that she's too obviously a plot device, made much more memorable by an excellent performance. And I said, when I commented on all of this, I was laughing. I said, you know what? This whole conversation is a huge testament to the writers of Forest Gump. I said because of the fact that all these years later, people are talking about this, and it's still Jenny. But hey, okay, let's
say what that Alabama accent. Jenny, I know what love is. I may be dumb, but I know what love is.
Look at this. She looked like a villain. Look at her out there. Standing over his shoulder. She looked like she's scheming on him. No?
Hey, my Jenny was not a villain. Jenny loved me. She just didn't know how.
She just didn't.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's what he's gonna say about that.
Remember, love. Like Lionel Richie said, love will conquer Oh,
And let's be
that's
clear.
all I got to say about that.
Let's be clear. Jenny, if Forrest Gump wasn't the way he was, Forrest would have smashed.
He did smash though. she let
He
him
would smash
smash
a lot more.
one time.
And
That's
from
no. See, I'm saying he would have been all right, let me be clear. He would have been continuously smashing.
Oh, okay.
he would smash a lot
Well,
more. And let's be clear
why?
about just a little bit.
Let's get even deeper than that. Why would he be continuing to smash? Because she was just easy, or because
because he grew up with her.
So
no,
because
he grew up with her and he understood it and he knew her. She was familiar. He was from Greenbow, Alabama. So that's all he knew. So she would have been just like his mama. That's what it would have been. And then I think about it, now we get deeper. For all you guys that ain't Jenny Villain, who the hell gave him the running shoes? Jenny. She gave him the sneakers that he was running around in.
Like
so
he couldn't afford running shoes.
Sure, he could have, but the ones he was running was. But the ones
he only ran with them because those are the ones.
Here's the thing everybody's overlooking, and this is why I told Ralph to repeat it and shout it for the people up in the bleachers because they didn't hear him. Jenny was and always will be and always has provided Forrest with purpose and direction. Forrest had the heart, and see that's what a lot of people are kind of sort of missing. Forrest had the heart to do the things he needed to do, but he just needed to push. And she was that push. She was that motivator that you can do this. Go do it.
Yeah.
And he went and did it.
Forrest, run. And what did he do? He went running.
Okay. So that
clear her? And she still gave him some booty on top of that.
Okay, so does that clear her?
And gave him a kid.
Does that clear her?
Didn't tell him to wrap it up.
So does that clear her of all of the way that she treated him throughout the movie?
No, it doesn't.
Her actions are still her actions because of the human being that she is. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is she wasn't a tease because she gave him the booty.
Right, she wasn't a tease.
I still disagree with that. I think she is a tease.
No, she wasn't a tease.
I think she is a tease.
Definitely not a tease. She was, I mean, I think obviously she was a broken person, right? And because of that, she didn't really know how to really, even though she had a relationship with him, but she really didn't know how to hold a relationship with anybody. That was her issue.
Let's stop that. No, she knew how to hold a relationship with somebody. She made life choices like we all do. Are people broken? Yes, people can be broken. But you know what? You come to a point in your adulthood where you understand the dynamics of what relationships are, what people are, what love is, what love isn't, and how to be a good human being. If you do anything outside of that, everybody. You are it is.
So then how do you explain her? Is she a good human being or is she not?
No, she's still a good human being that just made bad fucking choices. Like we all do.
Think about it. And what you just said was that she didn't know how to keep a relationship. She kept a relationship with the guy that slapped her. She kept that going for years.
She was moving from guys to guys. She was moving on from guy to guy. That wasn't like nothing real. She was moving on from one guy to the next. Remember, she comes from the abusive thing, right? So of course she gets with a guy that abuses her. And then I guess, who knows? They never even showed how or why she left him. But, eventually she did.
She just left.
Maybe he left her.
You just see her getting ready to jump out the window and she says, wait a minute.
I know, right? So that's what I say. So here's another tweet. So it says, similar to what no, not similar to what Kev said, but I saw something about choices. That's what I thought it said. Someone here says, no, it makes her a three-dimensional human being. It's not a Marvel movie. Jenny was broken and her behavior was perfectly in line with being a child sex abuse victim. That was another top.
Yeah.
She was abused, and it was implied, and I think the writers did confirm. I mean, obviously, it was more than implied that she was molested by her father, and I think the writers confirmed that in another interview or something like that.
Well, listen, the bottom line is, it comes to a point to where you make a choice. Am I going to continue to be this human being, or am I going to make the life choice to be something better?
She kind of never really made that choice.
No, she made a choice. She chose to be who the fuck she was, and not be better and do better.
So then you kind of can't say that she was.
But that doesn't make her a bad human being, and it doesn't make her a villain, because she chose to be unbroken. So she still understood the rules of being a human being. She chose not to settle down with one person. She chose to continue the life of abuse or the life of being abused.
Well, here's the deal. Now I'm going to add to that, because that is your opinion and your view on it. Now, some people take those type of things very seriously, who've been abused and been in situations. And yes,
I'm not making light of that.
No. What I mean is when people make comments like that, they're talking about people who are grew up in abusive situations and then end up making these bad choices. I get what you're saying with choices, but I be careful with those words, because sometimes it's a whole mental thing too.
It absolutely 100% is.
Right.
And at what point do you choose to make a change?
Mm-hmm.
You have to
and she you can almost say that she really never chose to make a change, because the only time she came around is when she knows she didn't have much time left. Would she have even contacted Forrest and told him? Yeah, would she have even contacted Forrest and told him he had a child if she never contracted the virus and was dying?
No, she probably wouldn't have.
Is that a good person to you? I don't know.
No, because in her mind, she's probably thinking, how is he going? He could barely take care of himself. How is he going to be able to take care of himself? He's a millionaire. But here's the thing.
She didn't know that, or maybe she did know that. I'm gonna say she did know that, because she knew that when she was originally down there, she would have stayed with him because he was already a millionaire by at that point in time. She didn't care. But you know what she said? Maybe I should reach out to Forrest when she was serving that dude his pancakes and saw him on TV. That's when he said, So he went on without me. I need to reach out to him.
Yeah. Oh man. So let me read it. I'm gonna read another tweet. These are hilarious, man. I love them. So this person said she didn't think she deserved to be loved, much less to be loved so simply and unselfishly. And also, why are you making me do this? So then someone else says, preposterous. Jenny was an addict and knew not knew not the pain she was causing.
Did they say preposterous?
Oh, they said preposterous. I love it. That's hilarious. He said preposterous.
Jenny knew exactly what she was doing.
He said she was an act. So this is so crazy. I'm sorry. I know. The funny thing is this. I always obviously paid attention to the character and their relationship, but I'm sorry. The reason why I'm getting such a kick out of this, because it's making us reevaluate and microscope the character of Jenny, because now someone else brought up addiction. I forgot she was taking drugs too. I forgot all about that. So when someone just said she was an addict, I'm just saying I ain't seen the movie in, I don't know, 20 years or whatever.
Isn't how she got AIDS?
Probably, or either that or from sex. One of the two. Could have been through the drugs. Could have been through the sex. She was doing both.
Yeah.
So she
both. It was probably both.
You know, someone.
I'm Jenny.
And this is when someone
she was a
someone
free
getting
spirit.
serious, yo. Someone said, "No, look, someone got serious on this one." They's like, you do not have an ounce of sympathy for Jenny and her traumatic life. Wow.
I guess I'm gonna assume I'm just gonna take responsibility for that and say that it was directed at me. Nope, not one.
No, it wasn't directed. That was a tweet. That was a tweet. I'm reading the tweets that people were, because this thing was such a big trending topic on Twitter. So someone said preposterous. That was funny.
I'm gonna say this: if Jenny is the villain, then I'm saying that Whitley Gilbert is the villain. That Winnie from the Wonder Years was the villain. That Joni from Happy Days. I'm saying all of them are villains too.
If she's a villain, then let me tell you something. I am Mr. Fucking Bad Guy.
Yeah, well,
give me a cape and a cowl, and what's that? And the mask to put over my head, over my face, because I am. Because guess what?
So someone else said another tweet was like, she made it all about herself. Could have waited. I've long been an advocate of how Jenny is terrible. Someone else, I'm trying to find some of the other tweets. Someone else has said there was a tweet where they was like, look, yes, we understand you had a traumatic childhood, but that don't give you no right to treat people like trash.
Like I said, life choices.
I tell you, man, this has become a heated topic in debate. It is hilarious. Obviously, it's about a fictional character, but the fact that how people see things in films. That's what. Here's another one said, I've watched it 1 billion times. We have yard glasses from Bubba Gump to prove it. They said, and while Jenny certainly conveys spontaneous joy in that scene, she could be accused of inserting herself into Forrest's moment. I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. See? There you go. They talk about the moment where she showed up in DC. She kind of, I think they talk about the moment when she kind of showed up in DC. They said she could be accused of inserting herself in her moment. Right?
See, that's the one thing I can't agree with that one, because that's more the circumstance that Forrest happened to be there and Jenny happened to be there. It wasn't.
Yeah, but she could have waited till he finished his speech. She didn't have to jump and say, "Hey, Forrest." She didn't wait. She stopped him in the middle.
But she did. She did. No, he didn't.
Yes, she
no,
did.
He had finished his speech, and then when he said, "Go watch it again," when he finishes his speech after it got sabotaged,
she could have waited till he came out of the spotlight. That's what I'm saying. That's what they meant. She could have waited. If she saw him up there, she could have went up there and found him. She could have waited till he got out of the spotlight. But that's what they meant by, hey, I know that guy.
Dramatic. That's not dramatic for the movie, though. You don't want to be sitting there and you're talking and saying, no.
We're just talking about the character actions. We're talking about the actions of the character. So that she knew that no matter what she did, what he was doing, if she popped up, he was going to stop doing it. And come to her. So I think that's a good point too. Someone said she makes a dramatic gesture.
Talking about the fact that Jenny was a villain. Where you guys think of this crap at? You damn millennials out there.
Someone says she makes a dramatic gesture in the heat of the moment, blissed out on dope, because she knows that guy. She's stealing the limelight. Jenny, the nurse, comes good when she introduces something. I don't know what they're saying here. I lost it here. It got cut off. But yeah, so they were talking about that moment too. Right. She knows she knows the guy. She's still in the limelight.
This damn topic is still in the limelight.
Yeah, it's hilarious though. I thought it was very funny. And the fact that it wasn't like something that one or two people commented on. Even when I put up this when I put this thing up like in the room and different rooms to promote it, there was people commenting like, y'all come in to the chat room and put your comments. Stop commenting on the post. I hate when people do that. But so I thank everyone who came in, who actually clicked on it and came in. And if you wanted to leave your topic, you leave your topic. But anyway, they had left. I'm trying to find that comment that they said. There was some people making comments on that too. Oh, I can't find it right now. Oh well, but that was pretty funny too. So everybody, it's a topic that everybody's kind of been responded to, which I thought it's funny though. It's actually worth to me. I thought it was the fact that people were talking about it is worth talking about. Someone here answered because I put, is Jenny the villain of Forest Gump? Someone answered yes. Well, they answered both of my questions because the other question was, which we're about to get to, is should Ezra Miller be replaced as the Flash? This person answered first question, yes. Second question, ain't no one anticipating a DCEU Flash movie anyway. So that was there.
Isn't the Flash movie supposed to be coming out this year?
No, that's what that's the point. That's what makes the answer funny. Yeah. So yes, there is a Flash movie.
I'm gonna tell you what's really gonna be funny. And not to switch gears, what's really gonna be funny is when some of y'all motherfuckers go to type in your Netflix password, and that shit won't work.
Yeah, all you people out there that's bumming Netflix time off of the next person. I've had people do it off me. I've shared my password before, and then that was probably when I was in New York. Then when I moved here, I kind of stopped doing it, and then Netflix is now starting to. They're finding a way to charge you for sharing your password. So not only really the people that are getting charged are the people who have the account. So now, really, to be honest with you, the people the people that's been getting the free service, they don't really lose nothing because they lose it only if the person that is giving them the free service anyway, letting them use their password, they have to be the one to say, nah, you got to pay me or you can't do it no more. But let's be honest. We know how most human beings are, and we know how weak-minded people are too. How many of those people are going to actually do that? How many of those people are going to actually say, okay, you can't use it no more unless you pay me? If that was the case, why didn't they say that in the first place? Why didn't they say that in the first place?
Zero.
Why didn't they say, yo, you can help me pay my bill since you use my my Netflix? So really the people who actually suffer here or lose are the people that shared their password. Because they're gonna be the ones. They're gonna be ones that have to call and tell the person, hey bruh, can't use my password no more. It says here, more than 1 million households are using a shared password. I'm sorry, more than 100 million households are using a shared password. Netflix said Tuesday, including 30 million in the U.S. and Canada. But it says the streamer doesn't plan to simply freeze those shared accounts. Instead, the company will likely favor the setting of an extra fee for those accounts being used by multiple people outside of the home. So it says here, Netflix plans to capture the lost revenue would start with the alert being sent to account holders whose passwords are being used by other households. The companies are already started to test the feature in Peru, Costa Rica, and Chile. And for accounts that are shared password across addresses, Netflix is charging an additional fee to add quote unquote sub accounts for up to 2 people outside of the home. The pricing is different per country, about $2.13 per month in Peru, $2.99 in Costa Rica, $2.92 in Chile, and based on current exchange rates. It says here the companies also allows people who will share password to transfer their personal profile information to either a new account or a sub account, allowing them to keep their viewing history and recommendations. So they're like, if you got a sister, let's say it's having a different, they live in a different city, you want to share Netflix with her, that's great. Chief Operating Officer Greg Peters during the company's earning conference call. So we're not trying to shut that down, but we're not gonna, we're going to ask you to pay a bit more, just a bit more, to do that. So basically, obviously, Netflix is tired of people, all that money they're losing. 100 million households across whatever they're losing. That's a lot of money when you think about all of those people that are using that should have their own account. So that's a lot of money they're missing out on. I can't say I'm mad at them for doing it. You can't be mad at them. They ain't trying to get their money, man. So all you people out there, be forewarned. Netflix is coming. They coming for you. So you better get back whoever got your Netflix. Just change it. This is the best way to do it. For all you account holders, change your password. Yep. That's all you got to do.
The easiest way to do it.
That's all you got to do. Change your password. And then when the other cats come calling, yo, I'm trying to get on Netflix, but I can't get on. The password is wrong. Oh, word? Now, there's a few things you can say. You can say,
let me look into that.
That's weird. Let me look into that.
Nope. There's only one thing you can say. Go,
no, my brother. You got to get your
own account.
Right. Your own account.
You work. You have a job. Get your own account.
Then you can say, because you gotta give them options, because everybody is not strong-minded.
There's 2 options. So, get your own account or don't watch TV. It's that
like
simple.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say,
I'm not even gonna lie.
But not everybody is strong-minded. We got some weak-minded individuals out there, so I'm trying to help them too. So you can also say, men no speaking English. No, I'm joking. You can act like they called the wrong number when they're looking for it. And or just say, yo, man, it costs money. It costs money now. They're trying to charge me, so nah, can't do it. I can't do nothing for you, man. So, those are the few things you can say. But yeah, be prepared, man. Be prepared, because they are not. Netflix
I never understood this for years. I saw people, and I ain't gonna call them out. I should, but I won't, because I love them. People were on, when I was on Facebook, I saw people on Facebook. Like, does anybody have a network's password that they want to share?
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
Like,
they like, everybody got a Netflix password. I'm like,
that was one of those moments where I was typing, and then I turned around and hit the delete button. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, the tirade that I had for them. Oh, like, nigga, don't you work? Excuse my language. Like, don't you got a job? And listen, I understand we on hard times. Listen, I'm on a budget, but I understand what my budget priorities are. I like TV and movies. That's why I got an AMC A-lister account, so I could pay $198 per film.
Yeah. Well,
that's why my all of my accounts. If you want to be smart about it, here's what you do. If you can't afford to to have a streaming service account. There's an actual term for this that people do. I'm not one of those people. I've had HBO Max. I was paying for HBO Max when we didn't even have access for HBO Max, and I was paying for the damn shit, and I couldn't even access it for about 6 months. But what you do is what 50 Cent told everybody to do. When Stars started streaming, and Stars became a streaming service, you keep Stars for as long as power is on. When power go off, Stars goes off.
Mm-hmm.
The same principle, and there's a term for it. The same principle applies to every other streaming service. If the show you're watching is not on, and there's no other content that you're interested in, turn it off until you're ready to turn it back on again. Then you turn it back on. It's free.
Because you're not put into like contracts or nothing with them.
So. But that's the thing that's going to change though. Because
that's the next thing. Too,
that's the next thing they're gonna crack down on. Because and this is the reason why. This was one of the reasons, and I forgot about this when PlayStation went out of business. This is one of the reasons why PlayStation went out of business.
You mean the View, PlayStation View,
PlayStation View? Yeah. The PlayStation View network went out of business because they were locking people in to at least 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And people wanted to be able to come in and try it out and leave. They was like, nah, B, if we not gonna continue to make money off of you, we gonna make something off of you. And I agree with that. Listen, don't be dipping and dabbing. Either you gonna keep the service, and especially now, even Apple, and I hate Apple. There's nothing about Apple that I love, but Apple TV has a lot of content. They do.
I just subscribed to them today because I just from having PlayStation, you get like a free 6 months or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Or something like that. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So I applied to because I wanted to watch the new Magic Johnson documentary. They Call Me Magic, which is very good documentary, by the way. Which touches on a lot of stuff from where he started and from his 5 championships to him getting HIV and had to deal with it, tell his family, stuff like that. Very interesting documentary, which actually there's also on HBO Max, which you mentioned HBO Max.
There's that thing about the Lakers.
Yeah, that show is hilarious. That show is called Winning Time.
Winning Time.
Yeah, the dynasty, the Lakers dynasty. You watch it? Yeah. So now it's funny that you said that because I see a lot of people what's the word? Complaining, whatever the hell you want to call it. Because this is something with, I don't know what it is with the people of today. They're so hell bent. They did this with the Wu-Tang show too. They're so hell bent on, oh, is that real? That didn't really happen. It didn't happen that way. Like, listen, first of all, they tell you in the beginning what the show is. It's dramatized. It's based on real events, but some of it's been dramatized, whatever. How it's a long blurb they put there, but they basically mean some of it's been changed for television, but it's based on real events because it's based on the book that someone wrote about the whole Waker dynasty, stuff like that. But here's the funny thing. So people saying, because Jerry West has come out and said he wants to
take it down.
He said everybody. He's like, yo, he didn't want.
Man, he wants an apology. They make him look like this angry. Yeah, because all they do is make him look like this really angry, bitter guy on the show. But he's angry because he never won a title, only because the title he won one. But I'm saying he didn't get a title when the Lakers took on the Celtics. He couldn't beat the Celtics.
No, he couldn't beat the Celtics. Yeah.
But every episode he's like this angry, bitter guy that throws his MVP award that he doesn't want Magic Johnson. He doesn't think he got the heart. He's undermining Jerry Buss. They just make him look bitter and angry. Like, damn, yo, dude, you're the NBA's emblem. That's
you're the logo.
What?
Yep, you are the logo.
What are you bitching about? Shut up. Just be quiet.
Well, he's come out, and this happens all the time. Me and my brother talk about this all the time. It's so annoying. Just like with the Wu-Tang Saga show, right? You had several. It's like anybody who's not either didn't get the look that they wanted or doesn't really get much of a look at all. They're the ones coming out complaining about the show, right? Most of the time, just like you had like Inspector Deck, who says, he goes on Lord Jamal's show and he's like, oh yeah, it's made for TV, blah blah blah. But here's the kicker, right? And RZA said from the beginning that, good evening. Thank you for joining us always. RZA said from the beginning that just, a lot of stuff was, changed, but it's all based on real things that happen.
I'm gonna pause you for a second because that's a very good point that you made. The RZA has like 10 brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
And he clearly stated that all of his family members could not be
represented. Yeah, couldn't be
so
represented.
What they did was they took certain characters and the personalities of some of his family members got combined into one person. So some of the stuff that you saw his sister doing was
it might have been a different sister.
Another sister was doing, but they combined personalities.
Right, that's what he did, and he also said on top of that, some stories were also combined and condensed because for timeline reasons, for time's sake, right? So a story that may have taken he might have took 2 or 3 stories and crushed it into one. So, and then you got people complaining, right? You had like Inspector Dag, everybody who didn't get like a good look at it, and say, oh well. But here's the thing, and I'm starting to see that pop up with this show. But here's the thing that really gets me. These guys, these people be coming out saying, no, it didn't happen that way. But then I start hearing real stories from the people, and I'm like, well, that's how the show did it. Like, what are y'all talking about? And it'd be like one stupid little detail that's different. Oh, it didn't happen in Shaolin, it happened in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like, but it still happened. Right? So it's just like this. So I said that to say this. So the people that are complaining about this show, oh, I'm hearing it just none of this stuff really happened that way. Okay, now I'm watching the Magic Johnson documentary, right?
And you're seeing them.
Right. What does he say? I used to come into the locker room with a boombox on my shoulder playing Flashlight. And I'm like, they got it down to the exact song in the show. That's exactly what he did in the show.
And for those who don't know, I just want to give a moment of clarity. If you've never heard Flashlight on full blast within your ear with a boombox or on a good home stereo system, you have not lived life.
Or at a backyard barbecue.
Or backyard barbecue. You ain't lived no life. That's true. So you got people that always want to challenge. Was this true? Was that true? They did it with the Wu-Tang show so much. It was so annoying to me. It made it annoying to watch the show because people was trying to poke holes in it all the time. And it's like, listen, dude, he's already established. This is, first of all, this is story from the RZA's point of view. That's number one. And he's already said that. So my thing is, this is what me and my brother used to always say. If you're so upset about it, then tell it from your point of view. You get a TV show. You get a movie.
They weren't there. They weren't there. So they can't tell it from their point of view. You weren't there.
Right. And even the ones that were there that's complaining, tell it from your point of view, if that's the case.
And here's the thing. If you're talking about how your moment was so like you're upset because you weren't seen. Well, how big was your personality or your image in the grand scheme of things. Like were you like, granted, on some of the songs you sounded dope, but did we really see you?
Right.
Were you really?
The thing is, Raekwon, I was very disappointed in Raekwon. Raekwon goes on Vlad TV, and he's talking about his book, but a lot of the stuff when they talk about the show, and he's like, I never really wanted it to be a TV series. I wanted it to be a movie, and he had like got Leonardo DiCaprio involved, like as far as like I guess like using his resources and calling in favors or whatever the kid. Like Leonardo wanted to help produce or executive produce the film, and he when he sat down with RZA and all that, they chopped it up, they broke bread, but ultimately RZA didn't want to go that route.
Being the control freak that he is, wanting to control every fucking thing, probably blew the opportunity for that to happen.
Yeah, well, he decided he didn't want to do that route. He knew that if he did a movie, it would have been obviously a little more raw, a little bit more whatever. He's like, so he wanted to do it a little less raw, but somewhere where they can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, he could still tell the story, but he felt like the story was too vast to try to tell it in a movie. He felt the story was too vast, so tell it in a series, break it up and tell in a series.
Listen, like that's why I said, he wanted control, because guess what? Straight Outta Compton was a vast story, and they were able to tell that story without, some stuff got left out, some stuff got left.
A lot of stuff got left out, but it depends on which way you go with it. Now they could have very well, Straight Outta Compton, the NWA story could very well been a series too. They could have told that in a series.
I would like to see that. I would like to see
it. Probably would have been dope too, because it's because you can it's almost like it's not the same story, but you had that group and then they broke into they broke up and they went into solo acts, and like that story could have been really and even before they broke up, just the whole story of NWA could have been bigger.
And NWA story would as a TV drama would have played out a lot better. I like Wu-Tang Saga, but NWA would have their story would have came out a lot different, because you have the crack element of during
the crack epidemic started on the West Coast during that time.
Yeah, technically it started in San Francisco and worked its way down, but still, the bottom line, the impact that it had on music in that whole era. Eazy-E was basically a fucking drug dealer.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah, he definitely was.
He was a drug dealer.
He definitely was.
I didn't think about it until I started watching Snowfall about how much money Eazy-E was actually making.
Yeah, he was making bread.
Like, it was a baller.
But remember, he funded pretty much all of their stuff.
Everything in the beginning.
Pretty much everything. He was funding everything. And just to answer your question, always she asked, I don't even know if it's a she, it could be a he, but they said, I'm going to binge watch season 2 of the Wu-Tang show. Was it as good as season 1? I think it was good. It was a continuation, so it picked up pretty much where season 1 left off. Well, no, it didn't. It actually jumped. Time jumped a little bit because they moved to what was it, the Midwest or whatever. Yeah, they was over wherever they was. Yeah,
it was Detroit. They moved to.
No, it was something like that, or wherever it was. It was Midwest, but yeah, it was good though. It picked up, and it was. I like the show completely. I like the way it's done. I like the artistic way they do things.
I just don't like you just playing RZA. That's my only.
Well, I mean, yeah. No one really likes the guy playing RZA, and he's a decent actor. It's just that he's not playing RZA the right way. He's not. His voice is terrible. Everybody saw that. And RZA only got him because of his acting. You know, he really likes his acting.
We don't really want to do what we got to do.
Yeah, he's talking like a damn Chinese flick overdubbed. That's what he sounds like to me. He said, definitely a she. Okay, cool. I didn't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, hey, I don't want to say the wrong pronoun.
Yep, get your pronoun.
You don't want to be a trending. Just say you don't want to be a trending topic on Twitter. That's what
right.
It is.
I would get my pronouns right. So that's what's up. But I love the way it was done. And like I said, so many Wu-Tang members kind of coming out and throwing darts at it to me. Just really, I think it's just whack that, you know, it's like, okay, certain things may have not, like some people saying, oh, for instance, perfect example, people saying, I think it was Inspector Deck that even said that what happened on the show about Raekwon shooting up Ghostface house. He said that they didn't have beef like that. This is what Inspector Deck said. Now, first of all, years ago, before the show even came out, Papa Wu, who's one of the old heads, you know, that they look to, he said that years ago. He was like, them boys was shooting at each other. He just said they crews was shooting at each other. Now, for instance, of course, things are going to be changed for optics on TV. So maybe Raekwon himself didn't shoot at Ghostface's house, but someone from his crew,
his friends and them was playing target practice with Ghost.
Right, exactly. So what difference is it making? And then this the funny thing: when Raekwon was on Vlad TV, he basically said that. He said it. He said the same thing. He said his man, some peoples, his peoples, they had beef. They had hard beef with Ghosts and their people, and they shot. And he said his man. He might even said his cousin or something like that. He said shot at Ghosts,
and not shot at him. They were trying to kill that nigga.
Right. So I'm sitting there like, yo, what is going on? I mean, why are y'all say, oh, that didn't happen? First of all, Inspector Deck, you just basically said that they lying. And Raekwon comes on Vlad TV and inadvertently confirms exactly what happened on the show. So that's what I'm saying. When people say they pick the stupid little thing, oh, it didn't happen like that.
It boils down to who's getting a check and who ain't getting a check.
Right. That's just like saying. So in season 2, and spoiler alert, always in season 2, where he's talking to them and he's trying to get them all together. He gets them all on the ferry, right? You know, he gets them all together on the ferry unknowingly, like he lies to get them there. Okay, fine. Maybe that didn't happen on the ferry. Maybe that happened in his house. We don't know. But at some point, he had to have gotten them together. It had to have happened.
For them to read the contracts.
You know what I'm
the discussion had to be made.
It had to be made.
At some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, people, you know, it's just, this is one of the reasons why I'm not online anymore. It's one of the reasons why because people are just so stupid. It's like, you know, why can't you just be happy for the fact that, yo, we got Wu-Tang got a show on TV. Yo,
right.
Let me
and they reinventing it. They're representing it to the younger generation, and they're loving it. The younger generation's loving it.
You love it. And see, here's the thing. It's stupid. What you don't realize is now you can do new music.
Mm-hmm.
You can put out new joints.
Yeah,
you already still touring, so you already got a fan base. Don't nobody really care about sales numbers anymore because there's no physical sales point anymore.
just like everything else, just like with the New Edition story, which I was so mad at them for not capitalizing off of when that New Edition story came. Now they're on tour now, and that's great, but they should have went on tour then.
No, but they tried to. Remember, they tried to go on tour.
Yeah.
They were on
No,
tour
but they can't get it together. That's the problem.
Well, really, it's not. They can't get it. It's Bobby was fucking shit up.
They regardless of the fact, they can't. They have all types of problems, though. It's not just Bobby either.
Yeah,
it isn't just Bobby because I got people close to that whole situation, and even on this tour right now that they're on. And that's not to get off topic, but I'm just saying, like, Ralph wanted his own bus, and this person wanted their own bus, and all these people want their own bus because they want to bring their own people and their own. Like, they learned nothing from the past.
Nothing.
It's like, yo, do you know how much it costs just to have a bus, one bus, an extra bus on a tour that they're going on? You're talking about over $100,000 that they got to pay for this bus.
And here's the thing: if you're smart, you would have just leased your own bus or bought your own bus because the money that or purchase a used one, because the money that you're going to spend for just leasing a bus for the time that you're on tour, you could have bought you one.
But that's what I'm saying. So he ended up spending, because the tour wasn't paying for it. So that means he had to spend $100,000 of his own money to get his own bus so he can bring his people. His entourage. Because they're not all they still have internal problems. You know what I'm saying? They still have that internal problem.
Why do you need your people to go up on stage and sing? Who coming up there to help you sing?
No one's coming up there. They just got these people traveling with them, whether it's family, whatever the case. But anyway, not to get off that topic, but my point is, they didn't take it. The streams go up when these shows come out. Your streams go up. You're supposed to take advantage of that. So, getting back to the winning time, right? The reason why I use Wu-Tang as an example, because it was a perfect example, because there's so many people spent all the interviews that they were getting, and so I'm like, yo, man, why don't y'all come interview with us and we'll give you a good interview? All the interviews they were getting, people would just ask them, how much of that is true? How much of that is true? You know what I mean? It's just like, dude.
The only person that was out there capitalizing on that shit was fucking Method Man. Method Man is out there spitting new numbers. He's out there doing new tours, he's taking advantage of.
And on top of that, he was already on the show, and he already out there doing his thing.
That's people doing this thing with Power, or both. Excuse
me. Yeah, he was on Power, exactly. Yeah,
but speaking of that, something for a minute about HBO Max. I got another bone to pick with Warner Brothers. And I know I pick on Warner Brothers a lot, but now I'm really confused. Okay, you guys, Warner Brothers, you did the Batman movie. I think you did a damn good job. You shrunk down the period that would go between home video release from theatrical. So you put it on HBO Max after 45 days. Okay, but then you started running it on the regular HBO channel. And I don't understand that.
Wait, you were breaking up a little bit, Ralph. I'm trying to. I need you to repeat what you're saying, because say that again. For some reason it went off.
Okay. This is what I said. Warner Brothers did an excellent job with the Batman movie. All right. You shrunk down the period between you put it onto HBO Max from theatrical release of 45 days. 45 days later, it's on HBO Max. Great. But then a week later, starting this past Saturday, you have the Batman movie on the regular HBO pay channel, right? And also on HBO on demand. I don't understand why you did that. Why didn't you also have a window, right? Because in my view, if you were trying to lure people to HBO Max, saying we have the Batman on HBO Max and it's exclusive to HBO Max for X amount of days. That drives sales to HBO Max. But you basically waited 7 days and then put it onto regular HBO and then HBO on demand. So then why do I even need HBO Max to see the Batman?
Because here's why. Not everybody, not one, because not everybody has HBO Max. Two, that's why they did the additional 7 days, because they also released it when it became that 45-day window. When it ended, it also went 45 days also to all streaming. So it wasn't just yes, it was on HBO Max, but if you don't have HBO Max, and if it wasn't on release the regular HBO yet, then you had to pay $19.95 to rent to watch it.
But that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it have been better to release it on HBO Max? Wait, let me finish. Have like a window to make it exclusive to HBO Max to drive people to get HBO Max, and then bring it on to the regular HBO channel instead of 7 days. It's just 7 days.
Because everybody doesn't have HBO on their cable. So that's neither here nor there, because not everybody can afford to have it. Anybody who has cable, 9 times out of 10 don't have HBO. So if they're going to get it, they're going to rent it from on demand. They're going to get it from on demand, and they're going to pay the rental fee for it to watch it. So that's where that's going to come in at. And two, as far as trying to drive the subscription rate to HBO Max, I believe HBO Max is on its way out, and that's going to be changing soon. If I'm mistaken.
What? I'm curious. What? Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I remember a while ago hearing a rumor that HBO Max is going to be changing to something else, and I don't know whether it's because of this Discovery deal or what. But they're not doing all the stuff that they were doing before, like with DC stuff, to drive up subscription prices. Because now at this point, if people are going to get it, they're going to get it. If they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it.
Well, they just had a huge spike in subscriptions, probably because of Euphoria and the Batman.
Yeah.
They just had the spike started the first quarter. The beginning of the first quarter.
That was Euphoria.
That was Euphoria, definitely. Right, that was for Euphoria, and
probably the Sex and the City show. Probably Sex and the City.
They just had another spike for the Batman. Yeah,
but Kev, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like as you just said, you went straight from like you said, everybody don't have HBO that has HBO Max, maybe one or the other. So, but once it comes on HBO, it's available on the on-demand service. So, that's what I'm saying. Why not keep it on HBO Max for 30 days before you bring it to HBO? Have a window in there, a buffer, because now that it's on,
because
it's available on HBO on demand. So now I'm sitting there saying, well, shit, why do I need HBO Max? And if I want to see if I want to see,
because see, here you gotta. If I'm not mistaken, now I could be wrong about this. If you have cable and you have HBO, I believe HBO Max is included with your thing. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Right.
Oh, okay.
But you don't. But if you don't have cable or anything like that, you could still get HBO Max.
Right. Or if you have cable and you don't have HBO Max, or if you don't have HBO, then you have to get your only access to it is to either get HBO Max, add HBO as a subscription to your cable service, or go to on demand and rent it from on demand.
Always says she finishing Doom Patrol season 3 right now. Oh, you be getting into it, huh? Okay. All right, I got you.
But
do you watch Titans?
But I was like, I get that part. But what I'm saying is, if it was on HBO Max and it had a window, wouldn't that people say, hey, it drives me to getting, because it's like they've been showing on regular television HBO Max exclusively for the Batman. So they haven't mentioned anything about that it was coming on the HBO channel. They said exclusively to HBO Max.
and that's why they exclusively never said that, because the way it's supposed to be is if you have HBO, most of the stuff that comes on HBO Max, you have access to it unless there's a specific window for that content. Then you don't. Then your access
and that's
just depending on
but that's what I keep saying. Would it not have made business sense to have it exclusive to HBO Max for a certain amount of time before you brought it over to the pay cable channel?
But that's what I'm saying. It still is exclusive to HBO Max, but the difference is if you already have HBO, you're not going to turn around and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to pay my subscription service fee for whatever I'm paying for HBO with my cable, and then pay an additional $15 a month for HBO Max. You're not going to do that if you already have HBO. If you don't have HBO, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to get HBO Max for rented for 30 days. The smart play would be to get HBO Max for 30 or 40 or for 2 months, keep it for 2 months, spend $30, watch as much content as you can, then turn it off.
Doesn't it make more sense? I mean, to me, I haven't had HBO in years, but to me, it seems like it makes more sense to just have HBO Max, because you get all the other stuff too, like all the DC stuff, and you get all of that other Warner Brothers stuff.
You still have access to that as an HBO subscriber if you have cable. See, right. If you don't have cable, then it's not, you don't have access to anything. You basically out of luck. It's either you can, like I was getting ready to say, you can either rent the movie and waste $19 to watch it once, or what they're banking on, Ralph, is that, okay, if I have that option, why am I going to, the smart play would be, okay, I'm not going to rent this movie just for $19.99 to watch it once, when I could just go ahead and for $4 less, get HBO Max for a month or for 2 months maybe. And what they're banking on is for idiots like me, who, when the thing first came out, I went and jumped on it right away, couldn't even have access to it. I bought it in June of whenever it came out, and I didn't have access to HBO Max on Amazon through Amazon until February of the following year.
Wait. I hear what you're saying, but I think that sits in there for if it was reversed. If it was on the HBO cable channel and then it went to HBO Max. But I'm saying this came with HBO Max first.
Right, but that's the whole point. Here's the reason why. Is because as HBO subscribers to HBO Max, you already get HBO Max. So that's what it is.
I got that. No, I understand that part. But what I'm saying here is, if you're trying to drive subscribers to HBO Max, why not make this movie, which is the #1 movie for this year, why not make it exclusive to them first? Make it exclusive for an X amount of period.
Because you still have access to it, even though if you're an HBO subscriber, you have access to HBO Max. So what difference does it make? You still get it
because I'm saying the business sense is that if I let's say I don't have HBO. Let's just say this here for a second.
But see here, Rob.
But I see on USA. Wait a minute, Kevin. Kevin. But I see here, like on USA, they run a commercial saying the Batman exclusively to HBO Max. That might entice you to say, hey, let me get HBO Max. At least let me get that. I may not want the HBO subscription, but let me get HBO Max. But you went and you took it, and instead of giving it like an exclusive window, like the 45 days between theatrical and streaming, you gave it 7 days. Why not extend it 2-3 weeks? Give it the same amount of time period, and then bring it over to
I'm not sure why that's a big deal.
It's strictly what I was looking at, like, but that just doesn't make sense.
But
that's like putting the Batman in theaters on Friday, and then on Monday you have it available on HBO Max. You didn't give it enough time right?
Ralph, you're not understanding.
You didn't give people time to go to a theater and go.
But even though people have HBO already, they didn't exclusively have access to the Batman movie until after 7 days. That they still have access to all of the content on HBO Max, regardless. They just
I'm not talking about the fact that people that had HBO. I'm talking about if, like I said, if I don't have HBO at all, right? And I'm Warner Bros. I'm saying, I want to get our subscriptions to HBO Max even higher. So we're saying we put.
I think it's because Ralph, number one, Warner Brothers deal is with HBO Max, not per se with HBO.
Yeah, right.
HBO Max is something that they created together. That HBO and Warner Brothers created together as their own little joint venture. So the things are going to go there. So that's why that's going to take priority over all of the other stuff. That's pretty much the blanket answer. That's going to be the blanket answer. It's going to take priority. It's going to go there first. But so 7 days later it goes to HBO. I mean,
but that's the part I'm talking about. I get it goes to HBO Max first. I understand that part. What I'm saying is between the theatrical release and HBO Max, there is a window. There's a 45-day window.
There's only a 7-day window for the other one.
And that's what I'm saying. Why not have another window where it's exclusively on this? I think
because I don't think they're gonna separate it that long.
Well, also, Ralph. And the other component to that also, Ralph, is the on-demand portion of that as well. If I'm not mistaken, I believe, because I know AMC has an on-demand service, so I believe a part of that 45-day window is also that AMC has access as well to the on-demand component. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that you can also.
Well, I'm looking like this because because like I do have HBO, right? I don't look at HBO Max, but I got access to it. But everything that was ever on HBO Max, right, that was put there first, a lot of that stuff, whether it's a TV series or some movies, has never come to HBO with stuff. Like Justice League has never been on HBO.
No,
right?
It's not
exactly. It's exclusive to HBO Max. But all the other movies that HBO Max had exclusive had some point got to HBO. But it wasn't immediate. It was a time period, like the little things with Denzel Washington. It was a time period before it came to HBO. So it just kind of puzzled me that now you got the biggest movie of the year. You put it to HBO Max, which I was cool with, but then you just gave it 7 days. Why not give it the same kind of buffer that you gave all the other movies? Wonder Woman didn't come out immediately from HBO Max to HBO. It was a time period. See what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that I was just like.
I mean, that's pretty much that's a question. I don't know what the full answer for that is, but I mean, the bottom line is, I don't know. Maybe because it is such a big movie, they want to get it to HBO quicker.
And also, you have to remember, it's going to. The other thing too is they're going to that 7-day window for being available to is also like what Wes saying before with the deal that they have with HBO, that it's going to be exclusive. If you are an HBO customer, you're going to have access to it, and your access to HBO Max.
I'm not.
Which to me, to be honest with you, to me, it's pretty. I don't see the puzzling thing about it. Priority goes to HBO Max. So if you're saying you're not a customer of HBO at all, then more than likely you're going to be drawn to go to HBO Max first because of the fact that
exactly
that makes sense to me. That makes sense
right.
to me.
You're right. That does make sense. If you're right, but all I'm sitting here saying is this one. What puzzled me is that you didn't give it an exclusive time period. You made it very, very short. When all the other things, there's some shows that's on HBO Max, like I just said, the Sex and City thing. That Sex and City show has never been on HBO. Even now, like on TBS, they're showing the flight attendant. TBS is showing the flight attendant. The flight attendant show itself that was on HBO Max has never come to HBO. It's in season 2, but it's never come to HBO. So you just skipped, like you gave it this time period before you put it on the regular television. So I'm saying you got this huge film that could have drove up the sales of HBO Max.
I think honestly, it's just the fact. I just think that maybe because it is such a big movie, it really doesn't benefit anybody except for the fact that if you already a customer, you have access to HBO Max, so no one really loses out. Really, at the end of the day.
And actually, they're winning. Actually, Warner Brothers is winning with that one because the people, because one or two things you're going to do right now. If you don't have HBO. Let's just say, we don't have to say
it makes it more sense to get right. It makes more sense to just get HBO Max, the app.
Because you either got a choice. You either rent it from on demand, rent it from Amazon or through Roku, or you just get HBO Max and watch it as many times as you want. Either way, Warner Brothers wins because they're going to get that money. They're going to get either $14 from you, or they're going to get the balance of the $19.
Right.
From whatever they make from the stream.
From the thing. So perfect segue with that is so finally Warner Brothers still taking shots at Zack Snyder in their own little way. They say they finally revealed the numbers from Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max.
Again?
They're actually willingly revealing them this time because only to try to clown him because it got beat by the Batman. So now all of a sudden they want to share how many views.
But before the Batman, it was beating everything else.
I know that exactly. So, but remember how they were never being straight with us on the numbers. Right. So now they decide they want to. Right. So Zack Snyder's Justice League viewership numbers have finally been revealed. According to reports, the Snyder Cut of Justice League was viewed 2.2 million households in the first week as one of HBO Max's biggest blockbuster theatrical offerings on streaming throughout 2021. In fact, the viewership numbers Zack Snyder's Justice League were only released in reference to how Warner Brothers and HBO Max currently big DC movie offering The Batman is faring. Comparatively. So basically it was only because this is the Batman viewed 4.1 million households in its first week.
And here's the crazy thing.
The new high DC Warner Brothers and their brand strategy, whatever. So they just basically put it up there so they could try to, make
a jab at
that.
The crazy thing about it is, if any real superhero fan, and I shouldn't say any real superhero fan, but I'm going to say that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. If you're like most of us, watching the Batman on TV, then going back to the theater to watch it again, then coming back home to watch it again on TV, or even just watching it at home on TV, probably sparked your nerve to go back and watch Heath Ledger's Batman. Well, with Heath Ledger as the Joker.
It's funny you said that, Kev, because that's exactly what I did. I went and watched The Dark Knight.
That's exactly what I did. Dark Knight, what do? You go and watch Zack Snyder's director's cut of B versus Superman.
Yep. Exactly what I did.
Because
how it's laid out on HBO Max, everything, all of that pops up after you watch the Batman. So you see all. I was like, ooh, you know what? I ain't seen Dark Knight in a minute. Let me watch Dark Knight. You know what I mean?
I watched it by accident because I fell asleep and I accidentally linked on the remote. And when I linked on the remote, it started The Dark Knight Rises. And then I went and did whatever I was doing for a day. And then came back and went to turn it on to go watch the Batman again. And it was Dark Knight Rises. I was like, oh, well, let me continue watching this. And then when I finished watching that, I watched that. And then what did I watch after I watched all of that? At 4 a.m. in the morning?
Justice League.
I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Snyder Cut, affectionately referred to. because Justice League was trash. But oh yeah, always said the new Batman was on the slim side. Yeah, he didn't gain much weight for it. The movie, like I said when I reviewed it a couple of weeks ago, the movie was excellent. It was done well. Yeah, Edward, she's calling him Edward. He is, he's still a little bit on the slim side. That's for sure.
The disrespect is just real. The disrespect is real.
She's a Christian Bale fan. She loved the Christian Bale Batman. Okay, I got you. Hey, the beauty of Batman is it's just that character. Like, I don't know. Everyone has a favorite one, because now we have enough really good represented versions that you can literally talk about who's your favorite. You know what I mean? Hell, they feeling like that now with Spider-Man. You know, they're like, hey, some people still favor certain Spider-Mans. But yeah, with Batman, now that we have this version that did well, so now you have legitimately four legitimate, and not including the guy, what was his name, the original one, not including him. No, not Michael Keaton. I'm talking about Adam West. Right. Now you got four legitimate, like, serious ones that you can choose from as your favorite. That being Keaton, Bale, Pattinson, and Affleck. You know what I mean? So you got like four legitimate serious.
Hey, stop dissing Kilmer. Stop dissing Kilmer.
I'm not dissing Kilmer. But I think because of the way Kilmer's film came out. Now, Kilmer was good and Carrie was excellent, but the way the film played out wasn't all that great. It was too
and
campy.
Also because he was being such a crybaby about, the suit's too tight, all these stunts are too dangerous. He was just being a wuss. So that's why he gets an asterisk next to his
right. I mean, I liked to be honest with me, if Jim Carrey wasn't in that movie, it would have been garbage. Like it would have really sunk. The movie was too campy, and then they brought in Robin.
Agreed.
It was just too campy. So that's what I mean by you got four legitimate, serious versions of Batman that everyone's gonna have, their favorites, right? So that's cool. If Bale is your favorite always, that's what's up. Bale is cool, man. I mean, my favorite has not changed. Like I said, I'm one of the people that, and I said this from the beginning. I said, look, and then I'm gonna, move on. I'm gonna stay in this realm, but I want to talk about Ezra Miller before the show ends. I was always one to say I enjoyed the film as a whole. I enjoyed it as a film. He's definitely not my favorite Batman. He's still not.
Damn it! Don't say that. Don't say that.
He's definitely not my favorite Batman.
Listen, everybody gets a trophy. Damn it!
Yeah, right. Yeah, participation trophies.
I don't know who.
So if that's the case, you might as well give one to George Clooney for participation. So,
I don't
he's
know.
Definitely not my. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was done excellent. I'm not jumping out the window like some people are. I mean, give me a break now. Some people are like, it's the best Batman movie ever.
Listen,
I'm just like,
I don't care. I jumped out the window on the 88th floor of the Empire State Building. I jumped right out.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth jumping out the window. If people do what they want to do, react how they want to react. But I'm not jumping out of the window on it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was.
Jump out the window.
Very well.
The air.
It was very well. It was done very well. Not jumping out the window. I'm not going as far as to say this is the best Batman movie ever. I'm not going to saying that this is. You know,
see how that sounded coming off the
it sounded preposterous.
No, I agree with Wes. It is not the best Batman movie ever. I'm sorry. You're not
Dark
topping the
Knight.
Dark
It's
Knight.
not better than Dark
You're not
Knight.
topping the
No.
Dark Knight.
It's not better than Dark Knight, but it is just as good, and it's in my
No, it's
opinion.
no. It is
It's
not just as good.
yeah, yes.
It is a very good movie. Yes. Is it as good as the Dark Knight? Hell no. No.
Yeah,
No.
yes, it is. It's definitely in the top 5.
I'm going to say that.
As granted, you could put it in the top 5, granted, but saying it's just as good as the Dark Knight. No, it's not. It ain't nowhere in that caliber.
As far as the movies go, like the way the storyline played out, it's like I said, it's a very good film. I'm gonna say this. I can say if I would take that story over Dark Knight's story, that I can see that, but I still think that the performance was better in Dark Knight. Obviously, with Heath Ledger, and I think the performance was better.
Take away Heath Ledger and what's his face that played Harvey Dent, and what's his face that played Commissioner Gordon, and that movie falls flat on its
Well, I mean,
butt.
that's a lot of people to take away, though. Okay?
Well, dude, you're taking out 3 major components
You're
of the movie.
the components of the movie. Of course, it's gonna. But I mean, that's just like say you could take away those same people, take away the main villain from this, take away Gordon. It's a garbage movie.
I mean, that's what any movie. I can see you say, well, if you cut this scene out, then it's garbage. And you're saying like, okay, there's one scene made. No, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say that. No, I think
it's like taking Star Wars and saying, well, if you cut Vader out, the movie is trash.
Yeah, well,
is it?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
but
no.
If you cut Vader out,
no,
who's gonna be the villain?
But
anyway, let's not get off track. What I was saying, so I think it's definitely one of the better Batman films. It's better than Dark Knight Rises. It's better than Batman Begins.
Yeah,
I'd say that. It's better than Batman Begins. It's better than Dark Knight Rises.
I don't know about that part. Better than Dark Knight Rises. Yes.
It's better than Batman Returns.
Begins.
It's better than Batman Returns.
Yes, better than Batman Returns.
Okay. Is it
better than Batman Forever?
Is it better than Batman?
Nah,
that's a tough one.
Well, you know what? No, you know what? Because me and Wes had this, and then we're gonna move on to Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Me and Wes had this discussion the other day, and I think the same rule applies to this that we applied to Jordan and LeBron.
Always because I was blasphemous. Why? Because I said it's better than Dark Knight Rises. That wasn't the greatest.
You're blasphemous.
It sounds blasphemous. I guess because you remember she said she likes Bale. But anyway, go ahead, Kev.
But we cannot, because of the error, and because of the time period, and because of the impact of what Jordan did in the period that he did it, and LeBron's legacy is still being made. It's still being fruit. It's the fruit is still growing from the tree of LeBron James. You cannot make an honest comparison between him and Jordan and say, oh, well, I don't care what you say. Jordan is still the best basketball player of all time. Yes, he's going to be, because in this respect, LeBron James's legacy is still being built. Right. So there's nothing to be said on that. The same thing applies to
this, right?
The legacy.
I don't know that you can use that, because if you're going to judge the movies are done. It's not like they're taking the movie and expanding the movie that's already done.
Is because we don't know what's coming next. We don't know if there's going to be a continuation of his character. Like we can make a comparison with Affleck, because as of the moment, we know Affleck's not coming back to do any more movies. So
but wait. But before you continue, I just got to ask a question. Are you judging the individual movies? Like the ranking of the movie, or you're judging the ranking of the person that played Batman?
Because
Because that sounds like two separate
right.
things.
Those are two separate. If you're judging the movie itself, then you could judge the movie because the movie has been done. So and always says as Christian Bale's not that they love Christian Bale so much, it's Christopher Nolan's directing style is what they enjoyed more. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's a fair statement.
I mean, he bought a he kind of actually, Reeves. If Bale, I'm sorry, if Nolan didn't do what he did, Reeves took a little bit from him. You know what I mean? Because he on the realistic side took a lot from him, yeah, or especially from the realistic side of things. So that's very very fair point. Nolan approached it from day one as if this was real, like if a billionaire decided to go out and be a vigilante. That was the way he approached it, and that's how he stuck with it. That's why you would never see him really continue with it, because he's not really with the whole superhero thing. Mm-hmm. That's not what he's not about that.
And he said all he had to say.
Right, he said everything he had to say, rounded it out, ended it on the trilogy. There you go.
I got wait. I got a question, and I'm asking this in real seriousness. Now that we've seen a few other incarnations of Batman and his characters, do you think Nolan made the right choice, or should he kept it going? Because
I think he made the right choice, because I don't think he was interested in keeping it going. Because you know how Batman, the deeper you get into Batman, the more like ridiculous his villains become. So I would never see Nolan doing a Penguin. I would never see Nolan doing if he was going to try to if he did a Penguin, he would do it kind of like how Reeves did it, to make it a little more realistic, as opposed to him looking like a penguin or acting like a penguin.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, because the people that have come after Nolan have done Batman. They've tried, like, certainly Affleck's and Pattinson's, they're making it much more realistic, and I don't think we're ever going back to campiness.
No, nothing's going to go back. They're never going back to campy. But see, remember with Affleck, with Snyder's Batman, let's not get it twisted. Snyder's Batman was the only version of the superhero Batman. That was the only version of a superhero Batman, because Zack Snyder's Batman was fighting Doomsday. You know what I mean? So that's what we're used to seeing in the cartoons and the comics, stuff like that. He was the superhero Batman.
Right, I agree.
Everyone else did the vigilante Batman. You know what I mean? And he just did the detective.
He's the detective.
Right. Pattinson did the detective Batman, whereas Nolan kind of did. He was kind of like the vigilante Batman.
More
Batman
vigilante than detective.
Yeah, more vigilante than detective. Exactly. He had the the technology with Lucius Fox there, had making his stuff. So where this one, you didn't have no Lucius Fox or anything like that. You're not even sure who made his stuff. You assume it was either him and Alfred, or that probably.
Well, it's him and Alfred. It's because Alfred was sitting down. What was he doing? He was doing something. I can't remember what he was doing, but he was doing.
And that's and Snyder's one took that route too. You could tell that it was Bruce and Alfred that was making all of the weapons in Snyder's one.
Yeah,
it was Bruce and Alfred. So and then she said Nolan made the coming of age Batman. Yeah, I agree.
Which I want to say one thing before we go into Ezra Miller. All you people who claim to be old and I just can't seem to make this technology work. If Alfred can make it work,
you can make it work. But that's for all you people out there who don't know how to work Instagram.
I can't.
Someone here says Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson. I guess that's their list. So what about I respect your list, but what about Keaton? No Keaton on that list?
That's what I'm saying.
I guess he's
just
fourth.
Can't say.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, everyone's gonna have their favorite, right? Now you can even talk about there's so many incarnations of Joker now People are gonna still have their favorites, and it's usually really gonna still be down to the three, which is Nicholson, um, Ledger,
Ledger.
and Phoenix. You know, those are the three that most people are gonna always pick from. I don't know. I don't know about this.
I don't know about Leto. I don't know. No,
not even Leto, but the new guy too. You know,
but you really didn't see him, so I can't count that guy.
I mean, him.
Yeah, but he's on screen for 2 minutes. He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing to really make.
Did you see the deleted scene with him?
No.
Oh yeah, there's a whole deleted scene with him where like Batman goes to talk to him, like he talks to him almost like he was trying to get information from him. Yeah.
Oh, so
it's a deleted scene.
He pulls a Hannibal Lecter. He pulls a Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling. Like he goes to talk to.
Oh, because that means they pulled that scene, because that was probably one of the scenes when he was like, because he went to talk to Penguin. So that must have been either before or after he talked to Penguin that he went to go see him.
Yeah. There's a whole scene that was cut with him doing that. So anyway, Ezra Miller, just sticking on to the whole Justice League thing. Not only I just saw some more stuff. Not only is Ezra Miller got arrested again, and you know, got himself arrested again. Now,
you dropping out, Wes?
Someone had, because I turned my head away from the mic. So someone has accused Ezra Miller of some sort of stuff here. It says here, photos for verification. I'd like to add Ezra Miller has a hard time respecting other people's pronouns. That's what, here we go with pronouns again. Let's see here. Let me just bring that. I had this up 1 second. Okay, right here. Ezra Miller. So it says here, Ezra Miller is being accused. You took everything from me. Young person on TikTok accuses Ezra Miller of being an abuser.
Are you serious?
It says here, so in a viral TikTok, creator Maya Solange, who uses they use the pronouns of they and them, posted a series of photos allegedly taken in 2019 of themselves and Ezra Miller. The photos, mostly of Solange and Miller spending time together, hinted at an intimate relationship. The video uses the trending sound from the animated film Caroline, in which a character says, "You are in terrible danger." So that, I guess that's what they posted on TikTok. In the caption, Solange added more context to the alleged relationship. You took everything from me. Ezra Miller is not a good human. Ezra Miller is not a good human.
Until now to say something.
I mean, you know, whatever. Let's not victim shame if they're actually allegedly victims.
No, not victim shame.
And so then, and I can finally say so without being terrified. #abuser. They wrote. The video currently sits above 3 million views. And this was posted on TikTok April 23rd. It seems to me a story was first shared publicly on Twitter on April 1st. Twitter user, whatever that is, who also uses the pronouns.
When they first posted it on Twitter back in early April. But now, since he's having all the trouble in Hawaii, let's post it again.
Right, post it again. Between them and Solange, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this says here, we were having sex one time, and he knows I use they, them pronouns, and still, what does he say? It's from my hair. Said, good girl. Mind you, I am 19. They wrote in another message lodge, claim that Miller hasn't really treated them. They're using the them pronoun, but really threatened them. Excuse me, isn't treated that threatened them, but they were physical. Miller would bite the shit out of her. End quote. Okay, so that's a nice mess waiting to happen. So, yeah. So this is just posted. She said that. So apparently she spent some time with Ezra Miller, and who knows? We'll have to see how that develops going forward. But regardless of the fact, kick them while you're down.
I don't even believe it. I don't even believe it.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't believe it or do believe it. You just gotta let it develop and see what happens. He's obviously, something wrong with him. Obviously, this dude can't stay out of trouble. He be doing stupid. He goes and throws. What did he do? He threw a chair and it hit somebody. It's not funny, but I'm just like, this guy this is the second time he gets arrested, and this was in somebody else's house or something like that he was at, and he was asked to leave, and he gets angry and throws a chair, and the chair hits somebody, in the head or something like that. It's obviously something wrong with this dude. So I'm not gonna jump out and say anything is true or not true right away, because you never know. Something's wrong with this guy. Why is he tripping out like this? It's the second time. And because of that, I want to say that he needs to be replaced. It's time to get him out of there. He's bringing too much baggage. Y'all already, look how long y'all been pushing the damn movie back. He's already bringing too much baggage to the table. So I don't know. But, he wilding out right now. He needs to go. We're at the end of the show, but I definitely, want to follow. I'm gonna keep an eye on this idiot and see what else develops. Like I said, some people, I don't like to jump out the window and automatically, accuse people of lying or whatever, or taking the opportunity. Some people do. Some people use it as a come up. But I mean, she's already a TikTok. She's a TikToker with millions of followers. I don't know what type of come up she's actually looking for, but it's possible that she could be on a come up or looking for one, or maybe she's, maybe something happened with them and she took it out of context. Maybe something happened with them and it did happen, and she's now just decided to talk about it. Some people do. Some people wait.
How about maybe
some victims
happened?
wait years. Some victims wait years to say stuff.
How about maybe something happened and it didn't go where she thought? It's like, I gotta get
That's possible too. Just like what happened with Chris Brown. That's why I waited before I said anything about the girl who accused Chris Brown of sexual rape or whatever it was. I didn't say either one way or another. I waited. I researched, and it turns out she was trying to, she was butthurt basically because he wouldn't call her back. So that was, she wanted to hang out with him again. He didn't hang out with her, so she wanted to try to, which in my opinion, I said people who do that should face charges. They should face charges for trying to ruin a person's life like that. But when they do that, they should face charges. But if they are truly a victim, then the person who victimized them should face charges. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother show. Thanks everybody for jumping in the chat rooms and saying what's up. I appreciate that. Shout out to always Joseph, of course. Everybody that came in and chimed in. Alex jumped in there. Yeah. And yeah, that's what's up, man. We appreciate y'all and all of your engagement. And we'll come back next week, talk some more stuff. Check it out. I'm gonna have my cast of groupie up here very soon. If not next week, maybe the week after, when we're about to shoot, probably the week that we're about to shoot our our next pilot shoot, mansion shoot. So we'll see. I'll have the cast up here. Other than that, we'll get back. Shout out to India. I don't know if she had jumped on. She said she was going to. Not sure if she did, but it was cool talking to her yesterday. And shout out to her. She's doing big things over there at Dollhouse Radio. And you know,
Yeah,
the
when y'all
extended
threw me
family.
under the bus, I don't appreciate that.
Ain't nobody threw you under the bus, man.
bus.
We was telling the truth. We was telling the truth. We threw you under the bus. We threw you under the bus. So, but yeah, shout out to India. And yeah, we'll get at y'all next week, man. Peace and love. Love y'all. Out.